Hi, welcome back to the live stream. I'm John, your favorite YouTube English teacher. Now, before we start, I just want to mention that any interesting vocabulary that I mention in this video will be in the comments section. So go there, that's for you and your notes. I hope you learn something new. So let's start. Yesterday in the live stream, I mentioned how I believe that artificial intelligence, or AI, that's important, the pronunciation, AI, artificial intelligence, is taking over YouTube. Now, I see this in a lot of different videos, but specifically videos about learning English. So, in some English lessons, a lot of English lessons, I see fake voices that, again, I can identify, but maybe you can't, with some errors in grammar or spelling. Um, and that's dangerous for you. I'm really not a fan. Um, but if you were paying attention, I said AI is taking over YouTube. Take over is an interesting phrasal verb. So, two parts, right? The first verb is take, which generally implies some kind of force. Okay, if you take something, generally, not always, but you take something. And the word over is similar to the word cover with a C. Over is actually inside the word cover. It's the majority of the word. So COVER, right? Cover, take over. And I think that's really important to understand the meaning of the phrasal verb and generally a lot of phrasal verbs with over. So take over is very common in some kind of situation with war or battles. Unfortunately, a lot of the news around the world right now is about war, so maybe we can apply this. For example, if an army takes an area of another country, right? You can say take, right? We have an expression take by force, right? So the army can take a city or take a region or take a province or take a country. But if we add the word over, remember we have cover. So if we say take over a region or a state or a province or an area, it just makes take a little stronger. It shows us that they're taking it completely. And I believe that's what's happening with artificial intelligence and YouTube. AI is taking over YouTube. Well, today, if you saw the news, Mark Zuckerberg had a big announcement. He unveiled new AI features while giving a presentation. Mark Zuckerberg is the owner, the CEO of Meta, right, which is Instagram, Facebook, other platforms, I think WhatsApp, right? So I just said that during a presentation, Mark Zuckerberg unveiled new features. A veil is like a cover, but specifically that cover you see, for example, on a woman's face, usually during a wedding or maybe a funeral, and it covers the face. The pronunciation is veil. And from veil and this object, this covering, we can create a new verb, which is to unveil. So if I have a covering on my face, I can unveil something, in this case, my face. But Mark Zuckerberg unveiled some new AI features. And we can imagine that unveil means to show or kind of present, but for the first time, right? They were covered and now they're not. They're in the open. So Mark Zuckerberg did that. And these new features are, of course, about artificial intelligence. And this is interesting. Um, I want to know what you think of this. So please leave a comment or, yeah, just tell me what you think. Um, it's automatically dubbing reels or videos into different languages. So a dub is when usually one language replaces another. So, um, por ejemplo, si yo estoy realmente hablando inglés en este momento y no estoy hablando español, pero parece que estoy hablando español, ese es como un dub, right? So that was really me speaking Spanish. But if there was a dub, an automatic dub, maybe you wouldn't know that I'm really speaking English, right? It was automatically dubbing this video into Spanish. So that's a dub. Excuse me. And this is really interesting. From dub, to dub something, to dub a movie, we can also include the word over. We can create a new phrasal verb because if you have English, right, and cambia para español, right, cambia a español, you can, if you change to Spanish, you can dub over Spanish covers English. So now it seems like I'm speaking Spanish when I'm really speaking English. And that's dub over, right? Similar to take over. We have cover, again, covering, okay? So that's really interesting. I believe that's really, really strange, maybe a little dangerous, because, do we really need to learn languages anymore? So, language translation is so good these days, and we have artificial intelligence chatbots, which can talk to you in any language, right? And now we have a video which could be dubbed over with another language. So, for example, maybe you're from Italy, right? And you're speaking Italian, but I hear English. Is it necessary for you to continue learning English? Am I going to have a job in the next 5 years, for example? So that's really interesting. And as an English teacher, that's not my favorite thing to talk about. But I really don't like it as a language learner either, because I learned Spanish and some Portuguese and some Italian, and at one point I was fluent in those languages, maybe not now. But I really enjoyed that process. I really enjoyed the human connection. And I don't know if that's going to continue existing with all of this artificial intelligence being dubbed over onto other videos, right? So I don't want to talk about this too long. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this a good feature? Do you really need to continue learning English? Why? What's the point? Personally, I think so because I'm going to continue communicating in other languages because I enjoy it. But is it necessary? So that's it for this live stream. Uh, I have a difficult time ending things, including my lessons. And speaking of that, I teach on italki. So if you want to meet me personally, go into the description. There's a link, which is my affiliate link for italki. You can get some free money with that if you sign up. And then you can take a trial class with me. And my lessons are mostly focused on conversation and communication. Not really writing so much, but my students usually stay with me for a long time because it's always a nice conversation. And I always make sure that you're speaking correctly with grammar exercises and other materials. It's a lot of fun. So if you want to meet me, just look at the links. I teach on italki. So Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next live stream.